Mysterious Murders is a murder case that is not known that the victims were killed because they were judged to have simply disappeared or hid their whereabouts. John, a criminal sentenced to 20 years for murder, is writing from inside the prison. In desperate need of promotion, Detective Adam receives a letter from John with a confession about several murders. Most of the murders involved in the confession had no evidence, and he couldn't believe the criminal's confession. But Adam opens an investigation into the murders with a detective's intuition. Adam went to see John for a more detailed statement, but John continued to demand detention on the condition he gave details. Most of the cases from the confession are either past the statute of limitations or mixed with fictional cases, making the investigation difficult. One of John's confessions was discovered to be the disappearance of Julia, a woman in her 20s, and the pursuit of the case determines where she is buried in secret. The remains were found at the location of the found burial site and pressured John, but it was confirmed that the found remains did not belong to Julia, confusing the investigation. In the end, in the absence of any evidence, John claimed that he had made a false confession because of the detention that Adam had given him, and he is acquitted of the cases that John confessed to. John intended to acquit himself of 7 murders based on lax investigations by the prosecution and police, and to acquit him of a murder case sentenced to 20 years in prison based on these results. Adam is eventually assigned to the province, and while organizing his luggage before leaving, he discovers a singularity in a photo immediately after the excavation of the remains. There was a T-shaped instrument on a picture of a woman's ashes, which was a female contraceptive loop. Adam checked the hospital's surgical records and identified the remains. Her identity was Jenny. Jenny was a divorcee from the countryside who was in a relationship with John. Examining Jenny's call history, John called her steadily until Jenny's disappearance, but found that there was no phone record at all after the date of her disappearance. Adam revisits John's confession, and after investigating the first murder, which had expired, John's sister confirms that the suspect is John's father. Adam, who visits the meeting, admits his defeat to John and says goodbye, but John laughs at Adam's incompetence. To a smiling John, Adam slowly tells the investigation, and as he unravels why he had to commit 7 murders. Finally, John looks perplexed. At the presiding judge, John calmly accepts the death sentence with his head down. There are still mysterious deaths in the world that we do not know. We should pay more attention to our surroundings so that there are no more unfair deaths.